Do you want to find someone?
Welcome to Mystic Moons. I don't know if you can hear that very subtle meow in the background of my kitty. Well, one of my kitties. I think he has the prettiest voice out of all my pussycats. He's the biggest cat and he can sound the most delicate. I think it's because his voice has a tone that is sweet. If you listen to some of the other readings that I have, you can hear a gravelly sound. And that would be the meow of the Siamese. Definitely not a sweet meow, not even trying to be sweet by the slightest. Did I say welcome to Mystic Moons? Well, welcome. Welcome to Mystic Moons. We'll get started in a minute. Hello. How are you today? And thank you for the like, Chosen. Thank you. So yes, if you appreciate my time, do let me know. Give me a thumbs up. These messages are for the collective. I don't necessarily lead them into whether they're going to be a general spiritual message, a message on love, a message on work. This is whatever has to come out for the collective at this time, being pulled by me at one message at a time. I will be listing the order in which the signs are read in the title after I'm done. I will not be timestamping, as timestamping is a bit difficult to do on the phone. It's a bit of a hassle. It's not like doing it on the desktop. So I ask that you jump around and see where you land. I will be putting out the order that I recollect reading them as much as I can, but I would just simply say go by the elements as the safest way. Today is warming up. I can actually sense spring in the air. Still is chilly outside, but nothing like the freezing cold. In a month, we will be officially into spring. So the year is progressing. Thank you for the like. And as the year is progressing, things are definitely heating up, obviously. Still a lot more turbulence yet to go. I'm sure everyone can feel that. Interesting too how we had this kickoff of an international global scale right as the planets were in alignment. And people like to say, oh, you know, esoteric, occult, astrology, energy, all that woo-woo spirituality stuff. Nobody's checking it. If no one is checking it, then how come the world leaders, a significant portion of leaders, doesn't even have to be world leaders, business leaders, political leaders, etc., how come they chose to go and kick that off right when the planetary alignments happen, that planetary parade? Also, too, we could think numerically about the significance of doing it on the last day of February. 28 and 2 goes down to 30, goes down to 3. The numeric vibration of 3. You know, 3 is, well, you could go and look it up online. The general meanings, inferences that you can make with a vibration of 3. But one thing about 3 is definitely when things get started. You know, it's just not two people bouncing off of another. It's when you start getting a collective, you start forming those groups, and you have group dynamics that are meant to expand to a greater and larger audience. It's one of the characteristics of 3. And you could think about that even too with some of the vibrations and elements that come up with tarot. Between Empress, 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, 3 of Swords. You know, we're all talking about when we start going beyond just you and I. It's you, I, and others. Anyway, let us go and see something to anticipate. Let that sound out. Something to anticipate. For these collectives, I invite you to think about not just your sun sign, but I'd like you to also think about your moon, 8th house, and 12th house signs, how that plays into your natal chart, because those are also the placements of things that are happening around you, happening to you, but not overtly, not just yet. And of course, you can consider your rising if you feel called to, but I would like you to think about those placements as well with these readings. First, collective, we're going to start with water. We're going to start with Pisces. High Priestess comes out. Which primarily, I feel that is a Piscean energy, is a water element. So water signs, Pisces placements. What is something to anticipate for Pisces? Pisces, should I get one more deck out? No, we'll keep it simple this time, Pisces. Something to anticipate for Pisces. World, Pisces. Page of Wands, Pisces. A new start for you, Pisces. Also, too, a new direction. Not necessarily, Pisces, that which you have walked before, that which you have done before, but could be, Pisces, that which you've been looking at. A gulf, Pisces, that you have been unable to cross prior. You could cross now. It's definitely something you haven't done before, something you haven't been in before, but you could have been eyeing it. Page of Cups, Judgment. Well, in these energies, Pisces, too, keep in mind, pages are new energies, fresh starts, curiosity, new beginnings. One could say too, Pisces, as we're approaching spring classically, Pisces is the start of the new year before we got into our standard Western, what do they call it, the Gregorian calendar year. But we have a new start coming up for you, Pisces. New beginnings coming up for you, Pisces. Should be a welcome change for you, Pisces. But let's find out more. Thank you for the like. So we have World. World, I have 5 of Cups. Ouch. Page of Cups. 6 of Cups. Under a 9 of Swords, Pisces, what kind of plans do you have that have been reimagined, reconfigured? The reason, Pisces, why you're about to go and begin a new phase that you haven't been in or experienced or dealt with is because, Pisces, you can't. Something, Pisces, has ended. Something has ended, but that doesn't mean that necessarily, doesn't mean the new start or your plans necessarily have ended, but there's changes. We have revamping, but that which you have already invested in, hoped for, something about that, Pisces, that's going to radically shift, and you are going to be forced to innovate, pick up what you can, Pisces, and move forward. You have to move forward, Pisces. Things aren't going to give you a chance, Pisces, for you to catch your breath and go, okay, so that didn't work out. What is there? Pisces, this is very immediate energy, going to have to trust your gut, things happening very fast. We had a Page of Wands too, right? Flanking this world. Page of Wands, and was it a Page of Pentacles or a Page of Cups? I think it was a Page of Cups. And that initial bottom of the deck pull. Definitely things are moving very fast. You are in a phase, Pisces, going towards a phase, Pisces, where you're not really going to have that much time to review. You're going to have to be quick on your feet and trust what you perceive, Pisces, to go and make your actions, your movements from there. Essentially, Pisces, you're going to have to reiterate? Or is it just revamp? Maybe the energies are kind of the same here, Pisces. But there's a new direction that you're going into, Pisces. That direction is going to come really, really quickly, unexpectedly. The outcome of what you want, Pisces, could be the same. If I was going to use an analogy to Pisces, I would say, think about it this way, Pisces. Let's say you want to eat dinner. Let's say you were planning on even Chinese dinner. And let's say, Pisces, perhaps that restaurant that you wanted is gone. Maybe, Pisces, you could still eat Chinese, but somewhere else, maybe at another date, maybe going a little further, or maybe, Pisces, you should swap Chinese altogether and just go out for food somewhere else. It's that, in that kind of energy, Pisces. You still can get dinner. And if you want to, you still can get a Chinese dinner. But it's not going to be how you initially planned it. Very strong Scorpio energy in here, Pisces. You could think about your own Scorpio placements that you have. And if you have Scorpio in your chart, Pisces, that's precisely where you're going to have to pivot or going to be experiencing definitely some changes you did not expect. Definitely if you have Scorpio placements. Also, too, in that energy, Pisces, well, you have some changes coming. And also, too, those changes that are coming, you can't go and continue planning on what you have because 5 of Cups, 6 of Cups, obvious that it won't work. Not even for a brief amount of time. All right, we'll go on to the next sign. Shall we do Scorpio? Get all that Scorpio energy. That would be a Scorpio sun. A Scorpio moon, 8th house, 12th house, as those are places, again, of what is not exactly overt, but still around us, still happening, still percolating. And a Scorpio rising, those are the placements. That I'm thinking of as I pull. So Scorpio, something to anticipate. Queen of Cups, Scorpio. King of Cups, Scorpio. I have soulmate energy here, Scorpio. I also have completion of sorts, partnership, Scorpio. Aligned partnership, Scorpio. Same belief, Scorpio. may not exactly be aligned partnership. We'll see how this comes out, Scorpio. But we definitely have what you value is valued just as deeply and in the same way by others, by perhaps, Scorpio, a very significant particular other. But I do have soulmate energy here. I have heart alignment here too, Scorpio. One could say in this energy, I have faith and dedication, Scorpio. I have commitment here, Scorpio. You know, some things, Scorpio, are very important not to go and disregard or to push back. And in this energy, that's what I have. We'll see if we're talking about people here, Scorpio, or causes, beliefs. Let's find out if we're talking about something that can be characterized by a proper noun, a Scorpio, like a name, or if we're talking, Scorpio, about our faith and belief. I have a 4 of Swords, Scorpio. Seven of Swords. 9 of Cups, Scorpio, with the 6 of Cups, bottom of the deck energy. 6 of Cups is Scorpio energy. Something to anticipate for you, Scorpio. You're going to be seeing the truth of something, Scorpio. You're going to be seeing some startling truth for you, Scorpio. Something's going to happen, Scorpio, that's going to change, how do I say, is going to change your allegiances, change your perception. There's some growth coming your way here in this energy, Scorpio. You're going to see that there are better things to invest in, better things to do, better things to be committed to. You're going to be closing off some areas of your heart, Scorpio, and you're going to be opening up your heart to something else. Scorpio, I see a heart shift coming for you. Something that you cared about quite deeply, quite truly, Scorpio. Either precisely because you did care, you're going to find yourself turning your attention away or towards something. Well, in turning your attention towards something new, Scorpio, you are going to be closing something off. There's a shift coming for you. And you're going to realize, Scorpio, it's in your own self-interest. Let me also say, too, Scorpio, with that King and Queen of Cups, regardless if I'm talking about a person, or just something, Scorpio, that you felt very committed to and invested in. Could be, even, work, vocation, your neighborhood, whatever. Very, with the king at its highest level, Scorpio, a king and a queen of the same suit. We're talking about alignment and feeling whole, feeling grounded, feeling supported. I mean, this is, and then with the cups here, Scorpio, we're talking about something that it's like a rock, an emotional rock for you, made you feel good, gave you the strength, Scorpio, to also go and be strong in other avenues of your life. At its highest level, Scorpio, that's what that energy is. That's what this energy is. And in that energy, Scorpio, you extended yourself. You were open and extended yourself towards the goals and towards other people than yourself. And Scorpio, what I see here is something to anticipate. I see you pulling back because you're going to have to recenter yourself. That which you've been that which you've been generous towards, Scorpio. Time for you to reabsorb that attention and energy back to yourself, and there's going to be a new focus for you, Scorpio. That's what I see. I see you, your attention is going to essentially be diverted to something else. You're going to notice something, Scorpio, that does not sit right with the reason why you invested, the reason, Scorpio, why you, why you were open. Thank you for the like. Hello. Ah, yes, that's what I see. Something to anticipate for Scorpio. I see you, Scorpio, in that energy. Everything that you extended right now towards someone else that you had your heart chakra openly flowing towards. I see you redirecting that energy to yourself right now, rebuilding it up for yourself, and then anew. Something new coming. My little kitty says hi. Okay, come on, little honey. So let's go on to the next sign. That would be Cancer. Collective would be a Cancer sun. Those secretive places, a Cancer moon, Cancer 12th house, Cancer 8th house, and a Cancer rising. Something to anticipate for Cancer. So I have death. My cat's like, oh, are you really going to use me as an easel? Yes, I'm going to use her as an easel. So I have death here, Cancer, Wheel of Fortune. Times are moving on for you, Cancer. Big changes coming, Cancer. Is that being influenced, Cancer? Strong Scorpio energy coming up here. Is this being influenced, Cancer? Something from the past is resurrecting itself, or Cancer is something that you've been, as you've been moving, Cancer, if you've been moving precisely because of either something good that happened in the past, or likewise something unpleasant from the past. Either way, we're talking about motivations towards the future because of what happened in the past, good or bad. And also, too, because of those motivations, Cancer, that happened in the past. Thank you for the like. Good or bad with Wheel of Fortune, Cancer. Well, we're talking about eras. I don't mean like era like ERROR. I mean ERA, the era of you. That kind of era. Time span, right? Eon, right? An eon of you, etc. You get the idea. Anyway, we have a whole bunch of timing things here in this energy, Cancer. And with death, well, either you're going to be moving towards something precisely of what happened in the past, or something entirely new altogether, Cancer. That's what my little kitty says. Anyway, let's find out more. Strong Scorpio energy coming up here, but we're talking about reinvention and cycles. And this does very much have to do, Cancer, with what you've been laboring towards, because, it's whatever that because is for you. So death, I have a Knight of Cups. Incidentally, Cancer, I do read my Knight of Cups as Scorpio energy. So that's piling on some Scorpio here. Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles, and Temperance. So twos may be relevant here, Cancer. We're talking about planning. We're also in this energy, Cancer. The changes that you're making right now, not many people can go, or the changes that you're going through, Cancer, not many people can either understand you or offer good advice for you. Perhaps they couldn't even assist you in this energy, Cancer. Not saying one person can't help you or a few people, Cancer, but this is definitely very primarily solitary energy, and the people, Cancer, that you can go and talk to about, or the people, Cancer, who you could go and express your wishes for how you want things to be, Cancer. They're few people that you can actually go that can help you facilitate that, can understand that, can be constructive in this energy about it, Cancer. But twos may be relevant. Scorpio energy may be relevant. Let's find out some more. So I have a Knight of Cups, Temperance, and Two of Wands under Death. Okay, Cancer. Something to anticipate for you. I do see fluctuations coming up. However, Cancer, you don't have to be thrown off course. That's the main message that I have here. Whatever you've been planning, I do see some fluctuations coming up, regardless if they've been influenced by the because, right, of what you've been working towards in the past to go and create a better future. Something in there, it's not necessarily just, without process. Let's put it that way. Plans without process. I get plans, Cancer, coming from you with a lot of process and a lot of reasoning, a lot of hope and planning for the future in it from the past. But in this energy, Cancer, I see changes coming up. Do not be dissuaded or discouraged because the initial avenues, benchmarks, goals, doorways, etc., don't pan out, because Cancer, I still see where you want to go and what you want to have happen. It's happening. You can still continue forward. You may have a little bit of time to go and wait on that. I'm not getting so much delays, Cancer, but I am getting a slower pace. And you know what, too, Cancer, I'm going to say this too. Don't be off put if some things are not happening as fast as you would like them to, as you had planned them to, because, Cancer, I think, don't ask me why, because I have the other, what is it, 9 readings to do. But something about this energy, Cancer, they, spirits, God, heavens, angels, ancestors, good energy, Cancer, good forces, Cancer. Keep it in mind like that, Cancer. Something about they, fate, whatever, is slowing things down for you because it really wants you to consider where you're at right now and where you're going. It doesn't want you to be thrown, Cancer, into anything that you would find legitimately hard for you to disengage yourself from and not deal with. Like, in other words, Cancer, in the energy that you are, how many things can you easily discard if you wanted to, move if you want to? I mean, there are certain things, Cancer, obviously, that, one can't just get up and go necessarily. But there are definitely things, Cancer, that can make things a little bit more difficult, right? And in that energy, I feel like the things that would make things infinitely more difficult, like an example, Cancer, an obvious one, doesn't have to apply to you, but just the type of energy. Cancer, we've all heard about those nasty divorces and child custody type of arrangements, right? Like one person's in an area and maybe another person wants to move for job, a different type of life, etc. But they can't. They have to stay in an area, in a country, in a city. That's because where the other parent is, right? So right then and there, Cancer, is an example. Just not saying it applies to here, but the energy that you just can't go up and move because you have other anchors, other ties preventing you from being as free as you could be, if not that. Cancer, in this energy, That's why I think things are taking time for you. I don't know what you could get involved in, what you could be stuck with that could make your freedom impaired. But the spirits, Cancer, want to make sure that you get to where you want to go. And that's the key word here, where you want to go, Cancer. All right. Next sign, next element. Oh, signs there, Cancer. What was that main one? I kind of forget now. Oh, it was death. So the energy is there. We had Scorpio. We had strong Scorpio, I think, too. Scorpio, Sagittarius, Aries. And if I was looking a little further back to Cancer, we had some Virgo, some Aquarius, and something else I forgot. So next element, well, not doing a double Cancer. Next element, let's do air. As my cats go meow in the background. But meanwhile, my other little kitty is all quiet. She says, I'm doing my job of being an easel. Job of being Luz. Her name is Mystic, by the way. We named the channel after her. Anyway, let's go and see the next air sign or air signs. That would be, shall we do Libra? Start off with Cardinal. All right, Libra, something to anticipate for Libra. I have 3 of Pentacles, Libra, 9 of Pentacles. Who do you partner with, Libra? Who do you deal with, Libra? Who do you invest with, Libra? Who do you share your goodness, Libra? Are you sharing 100% of your goodness, Libra? Should you share 100% of your goodness? How much should you give, Libra, of yourself to the group? You have a lot to give, Libra. Is it worth giving a lot to the group? The group is going to expect a lot from you, Libra. Energy is coming up here so far. Well, we have some Capricorn. We do have some Gemini, Cancer, and Virgo coming in there, Libra. Something's going to be a deal breaker for you, Libra. Someone, either on your end or their end, someone, Libra, is going to be asking for your, what they perceive, Libra, to be your 100%. Are they going to be worth it, Libra? Let's see, maybe we'll take it over here to the side. One moment. We'll move it over here. She's like, I'm not an easel. Sometimes she is actually a very good easel, though. You can pop the cards against her, and she's pretty good with that. But she also says this is her area. Of course, I'm here, so every area that I'm at, she's there going, this is my area. These are my beddings. Everything gets a layer of magic cat hair dust all over it. This is like the true, I don't know if you can see that, little cat hairs. True fairy dust. Anyway, Libra, I have a 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles with a 9 of Wands. Page of Cups. And a Page of Wands. Something to anticipate for you, Libra. I see partnerships coming your way. Someone's going to want to build something, Libra. Perhaps, Libra, well, they're going to try and make it an emotional investment for you. In that emotional investment, though, Libra, they're going to definitely come at you or be interested, Libra, in what you can provide tangibly, how you could enrich them, enrich the group. This is in general, Libra. You could find this bleeding out to both your personal connections and your professional connections with a Two of Cups, Three of Pentacles. We're talking about your connections overall. And Libra, here's what I have for you and something to anticipate. Libra, in this energy, you could have been waiting for connections like this to be available to you. And I want to say, Libra, in this energy, I would not be that eager, Libra. Libra, you have a lot to give. And I would say in this energy, something to anticipate for you. New connections are coming up. New connections, Libra, in which you're going to feel inspired to prove your worth. Share your resources and your experience. And Libra, what I have here is that take it slow. Not quite do as much as necessary, Scorpio, Libra, but take it slow. And also to, I would see exactly what other people are investing in as well. Libra, all this energy is about definitely being part of a group, but only giving as much as you are being compensated for. No more, Libra, no less, Libra. It's almost quite like standing on the fence, Libra, and seeing the viability of what you're getting yourself involved in before making any significant investments. You can't necessarily do that, Libra, from a distance. You do have to get closer, Libra. My cat's like watching them, the kitties running around. You know, it's a Siamese in the background. It's funny how some personalities are wild. And I will say this about Siamese, very intelligent, but they also don't care what kind of rules you make up. They're like, so what? This is what I want to do. These are the new rules. And little Mogi cats, little domestic short hair cats, they get the fact that there are rules to follow, rules that need to be followed. Siamese saying, now I'll just break you down and run you over. This is a better way. And then before you know it, you'll probably be there with like, I don't know, not quite, but you'll feel like you're living with 6 raccoons and your walls are, the dry walls all eaten through, and you don't need to lock the door because the raccoons will attack anyone in the house. That's what, to me, only my 2 Siamese feel like. They feel wild like that. I feel literally outnumbered by them. They're like, feed me. I'm like, yes. Get up. I'm like, yes. Anyway, I don't know if they said you heard all that, but there was a whole bunch of Siamese action behind me. So Libra, that's what I get for you. Something to anticipate, okay? Opportunities for partnership are coming. Libra, don't throw everything in 100%. I wouldn't even say throw things in 50%. Libra, throw things in 35%. Be very ginger, Libra. Be very observant, Libra. Make sure other people are giving it just as much as you are, Libra, if not more. I would say see if they're giving more. Because Libra, you have a lot to give, and people could very easily just soak up what you provide rather than matching it. We'll go on to the next air sign. That would be, what would that be? Let's do Aquarius. Aquarius, we have a lot of air coming out. A lot of 10s coming up, Aquarius. We are in a 10 vibrational year. Aquarius, 10s go down to 1, a vibration of 1, end of cycles, beginning of new ones, definitely a need for it. Aquarius, something Aquarius has been shackling you, restraining you, possibly the social groups, the social responsibilities, Aquarius, that you have allowed yourself to strive for, be affected for, care for, believe in, Aquarius. Now's the time, Aquarius, where there is a value shift coming about. Some things, Aquarius, are going to feel like the importance they once had to you, Aquarius. They don't have the same importance now. You're going to see things differently, Aquarius. Been forced in this energy, Aquarius, to see things differently. Also, too, movement, Aquarius. Not much movement towards what you want to have happen has happened. Been trying to be patient with it, Aquarius, to make it happen. Definitely patient to make it happen and see where it goes and all that has happened so far, Aquarius. Well, do I say hassle? I don't know. This gives me a headache when I view all these or think too much about that. This gives me a major headache. I'm not going to focus on it too much, Aquarius, because I have the other signs to do. But essentially, Aquarius, that's the energy that I have here. Aquarius, there's a shift coming. Something you are definitely going, it isn't worth it. You rather than continue to strive for it, even though there's investment here, Aquarius. And trust me, whatever this is, for those of you, Aquarius, that this resonates to, this is investment. You invested a whole lot of something into it, Aquarius. You've been trying to make it work, Aquarius. And Aquarius, you did enough. You know you did enough. Aquarius, that's over. The investment you did with it, you tried. You definitely tried. But now, not worth doing anything more towards that. Energy so far coming up to there too. Prior, we had Gemini, Sagittarius, and Libra. That's what my cat says. Not this kitty, the little quiet kitty, but the little Siamese one. Anyway, so Aquarius, 10 of Swords, clarified by a 9 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, 6, freedom. Aquarius, that's what I got for you. I have freedom. 6s may be relevant in this energy, Aquarius. 10s and 1s may be relevant. I already went into the 10s and the 1s. I mean, I could say a little bit more about 6s when I say 6s are relevant. Obviously, you could have 6s in your a life path, your phone number, your street number. You could be seeing 6s. But when I also say 6s, and you can look this up online too, the numeric vibrations, the numeric connotations that are associated with 6s, but we're talking about partnership. We're talking about success. You know, we're also talking about integration and, you know, what we synthesize or synchronize around with us in the world. This is like our placement, our fluid, smooth placement, striving for our fluid, smooth placement in the world in this energy, Aquarius. Of course, 6 of Swords is Aquarian energy too. Anyway, Aquarius, what I have for you, something to anticipate. I have freedom. I have freedom. And with that, Aquarius, you know, with what you've been striving for, Aquarius, is success going to come out of it? It doesn't matter. Really what matters, Aquarius, is the experience you gathered through this process and what you've learned from it, what you've observed for it. Aquarius, those lessons are going to stay with you and are going to inform you in your future success. That's really the benefit that's here for you, Aquarius. I don't know why you had to struggle with what you struggled, and that's definitely a struggle. But, you know, you, Aquarius, I have freedom and I have success for you. And that success, Aquarius, is going to become precisely because of what you have strived for. I see you moving away from that and almost ejecting yourself from it, parachuting from it. And it's a good decision, Aquarius. Don't second guess yourself, Aquarius. You've seen all you need to see, Aquarius. You've known all you need to know, and what you have, Aquarius, is adequate right now for your next and future steps. That's something to anticipate for you. I see freedom. I see new things. I see good things coming your way, and I see success now that you're not going to look back. I guess I could have said elements or signs, but Aquarius, you can take it back. Nothing there was, I would read as anything different than the typical connotations. And then finally, we have Gemini before we go on to our next element. Let's see, Gemini. Something to anticipate for Gemini. Knight of Swords and Chariot. Movement. You know, it's funny because to me, some energies, Gemini, are, they have a lot of energy, but it's like, is what they accomplish or what they'd like to accomplish actually happening? Like, for instance, with Chariot energy, somebody could be digging their heels and putting so much effort, but it's almost like a car stuck in mud. Gemini, you know, the wheels are spinning, the engine's cranking, smoke is happening, but no movement. Both of these are very strong energies, Gemini. Both of these can also be chaotic energies. Lots of movement, lots of a little bit of chaos, a little chaotic energy in here that I'm picking up. Also, too, it's almost like knee-jerk reaction. You know, somebody drops hot water on you and you fly up. It's that kind of energy here, Gemini. Also, too, we could say with Chariot here with a with a Knight of Swords, Gemini, chances for your emotions to be triggered in a way you didn't expect. And because of that, Gemini, you could be running on red, seeing red through your actions, through your words, through your movements. Something here, Gemini, could you be triggering someone? Could you be triggered? There definitely is triggering here, Gemini, a methodical trigger to action. Great energy, Gemini. Going to have to watch how you direct that, Gemini. Make sure you don't spin your wheels, Gemini. Deeper into the mud, Gemini, especially with some earth energy here. Deeper into the mud, Gemini. Eight of Swords is Gemini energy. Anyway, Gemini, what I see for you right now, I see a lot of energy coming up for you, something to anticipate. I see a chance, Gemini, for you to be triggered in some way and for you to be almost, hopefully, somebody hopes, Gemini, that you would be influenced to act automatically. Someone's going to try and push your buttons, Gemini. Is it a good button, Gemini? Is it a button that benefits only them, Gemini? Well, I know someone definitely wants to push your buttons. So let's go and see some more in this energy. I do see some power coming your way. Definitely power you can utilize in this energy, Gemini. In other words, there's opportunity you can make use of as well, Gemini, if you keep your head about it. If you keep your head about what's about to happen to you, Gemini, this could be a chance for you to bypass a lot of formalities that would take more time for you to gain. Let's find out more. There's something here that if you handle it intelligently, say the right things with the right amount of words, Gemini, be very profitable for you, Gemini. So, a Gemini, hidden agenda is definitely someone coming to push your buttons, Gemini. Make some offers to you, Gemini. Strong manipulation here, Gemini. Definitely going to try and think that they believe you. They know your, they know how you work. They know your value system. This is someone who is aware of you to some extent, Gemini. Could even be in this area of work, Gemini. If it's not work, then this is someone still who knows how you operate. They understand, Gemini, where your value code works and what your value system is, and they're going to use that for their advantage. Something to anticipate for you, Gemini. Someone's coming to push your buttons. This is someone who you know, Gemini. This person's going to come and not necessarily go and push your buttons in like an obvious aggressive type of way. But I feel like this is someone here who's trying to lay your actions, influence your actions to a very specific outcome that they hope you rather stumble into. So Gemini, something to anticipate for you, someone who you definitely know. And this person, Gemini, knows how you operate. They also know what you value. And Gemini, they're going to try and influence you to do a specific type of action. Perhaps to say some things, go after someone else. And Gemini, my advice for you, especially with this person who you know and they know you, any information that you get before you act on it, Gemini, wait and see. Gemini, there's no rush other than what's perceived to be a rush. When you get information in your hands, Gemini, when people are prodding you to react right away, Gemini, take a step back, Gemini. Give yourself a few days, Gemini. Don't react on their timeline, especially when you get information that's coming your way. Because as I said, someone's going to try and trigger you. Not trigger you necessarily, again, as I said, like openly, like that's an enemy. Yes. Very necessary here, Gemini, because there's some sort of gain that that someone expects to get from you. And it could be in this energy too, Gemini. For instance, it could be someone in work, and this person could be there egging you on to, say something or ask for something or do something that ultimately is going to make themselves look better. Someone's playing some long-term strategy of gain from you. And I think if you just step back, or someone says something, oh, I heard this blah, blah, blah about you, aren't you going to deal with it? Do nothing reactionary. Think about it, evaluate it, think about the source of where that news is coming from and how you want to proceed. Don't go on emotion, Gemini. I think I did all the air signs, right? I did a Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. We did water. Shall we do fire? Shall we do earth? Let's do earth, and then we'll do fire. We'll do Taurus. So that would be a Taurus sun, a Taurus rising, oops, a Taurus 8th house, 7th, or not 7th house, an 8th house, blah, a Taurus 8th house and 12th house. We do the 8th and 12th houses because those are the watery houses where things aren't exactly clear. And also, too, that do tap into our intuition. One could say, you know, the debt that's upcoming, hidden mysteries. But also, too, some people have a negative connotation of the 8th and 12th houses, but all we know is that they are just simply operating on a different field. And just like someone's words are very obvious, someone's actions are very obvious, someone's feelings, once they feel that, is obvious as well. Someone's intentions, likewise, are obvious as well, too. So we have Taurus. Something to anticipate for Taurus. Do I call that manipulation, Taurus? I don't think quite that. But I do see a little miscommunication coming up here, Taurus. Someone, Taurus, sees you in very high regard, Taurus, and either they're not expressing it well, Taurus, or they don't have well intentions, good intentions. Their intentions are not well. Energy is popping up here so far, Taurus. We have Aquarius, Gemini, and Leo. What I do have here, Taurus, though, are intentions, plans that soon will become obvious, plans that are also in place, Taurus, precisely because of admiration, goals, hopes. There's definitely hopes here. It's worth enough here, Taurus. The stakes to be gained, Taurus, are important enough here to take risk. So that's a benefit here. That's not a negative energy to go and see, Taurus, the necessity for being daring. There's an opportunity here, Taurus. The question is, with that 8 of Swords energy, we'll find out more, Taurus. Does this relate to you precisely, or Taurus, is this simply calling upon, well, we have decisiveness and gain. Gain, though, as I said, that either is it known by one person, you know, something here that has to be developed, right? We can't necessarily be transparent, even though there's a very clear objective that wants to happen. For some reason, transparency is not an option, which one could say that's a little worrisome, Taurus. But we'll find out. As I said, 7 of Swords is an interesting energy, Taurus, if you are the one initiating it. If you are on the receiving end, Taurus, not quite that fun. 5 of Wands, Taurus. Lots of 7s, Taurus. Well, Taurus, you better be sharp, Taurus. Make sure you're observant, Taurus. Stakes are high, surprisingly, around you, Taurus. They really are. They're higher than what they perceive to be, or they're higher than what they are expressed to be. Let me put it that way. The stakes are high around you. There's significant gain to be earned here in this energy too, Taurus. I say earned, but maybe that's not quite the right word. Maybe we should just say there are significant gains to be gained. Nine of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, a Knight and Nine of Pentacles together with a Seven of Swords. That's not gain. I mean, excuse me, that's not earning. That's not something earned. But that is something that could be obtained. Some people could be into earning it. Some people could be into taking it. We have significant Cancerian energy here. Hi, she says, I woke up. Did you wake up? She woke up. Did you wake up? She says, I woke up. I'm going to go back to sleep. She's not that far away. Hello. So, Taurus, as we were mentioning before, we got little kitty feet here. Which, by the way, she's a Taurus. She said, oh, I have to get into this. Little Taurus pussycat. Taurus, Cancer energy here could be significant for you. Do you have Cancerian placements yourself, Taurus? If you do have Cancerian placements, Taurus, I'm going to say that's where there's a gain coming up for you. Not necessarily a gain that can be obtained by someone else. This is your own unique gift that's coming up in this timeline, in this reading that I have. So take a look and see if you have any Cancerian placements. A little bit of a hassle here. Definitely we have hassles in this energy, Taurus, for you to obtain it. But ultimately, Taurus, where you have Cancerian placements is where something really significant, some significant strides are going to be made for you. You could also be dealing with a Cancer. And ultimately something to anticipate for you, Taurus. As I said, the stakes are actually pretty high, a lot higher than what's expressed. And Taurus, I'm going to say with whatever allegiances that you are involved in. Unfortunately, those allegiances at the heart of them, Taurus, are really for their own benefit. There's camaraderie and teamwork and communication, but only up to a certain point. Also, too, Taurus, with the 5s and 7s coming up here, you're in the midst of change, Taurus. In your energy, where you're at, you are in the midst of making some pretty big changes to your overall lifestyle and routine, definitely through the people who you partner with, you're working with, working towards. Ultimately, Taurus, this does come out to your benefit, but Taurus, only trust. I feel like the trustworthy aspect of people is something you should be really cautious about. Because, as I said, the stakes are a lot higher than what is openly expressed. With 7s being relevant here too, Taurus, we're talking about your own growth. You're going to see things differently, see different ways to go and move towards. And there are going to be goals, Taurus, coming up for you that you did not anticipate initially. And that's what I have for Taurus. So now we're on the next Earth sign. You fold these cards back. Then I think I have to go and just give my little kitty a little scratch because she looks so cute. And then we'll go on to the next earth sign. We'll go on to Capricorn. And then we'll do Virgo. And then we'll go on to fire. Signs that were done so far. We did water. We did air. If you want to go back and check out your placements on those. All right. So, Capricorn. Something to anticipate for Capricorn. Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, Capricorn. New starts, new beginning, decisions, Capricorn. Also, too, those decisions that you have, Capricorn, acting on them immediately, Capricorn. Things moving very quickly for you, Capricorn. Fate is at hand, Capricorn. Any sort of stagnation, Capricorn, that is over, Capricorn. Interesting, Capricorn. Lots of aces coming up here. I'm going to focus on my little kitty just because she's so cute. Some of the readings I have, I leave them up a little longer because she's sleeping in them. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. You know, I'm a cat fan, so even if all they're doing is sniffing, I'm like, oh my God, sniffing. Ear twitch, eye blink, toe beans. It's my own oddities there. Anyway, Capricorn, we have an Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords with a 10 of Swords. I do read my queens as cardinals. A Queen of Pentacles I do read as Capricorn. What are you separating yourself from, Capricorn? Separating yourself from something for your health and longevity, for your future, for your heart, for your mental space, Capricorn. Capricorn, look at all these 10s. I have everything here, Capricorn, but a 10 of Wands. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, a 10 of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, 10, Major Arcana, 10. I have 4 10s here, Capricorn. I also had that 2 Ace of Wands. 10s go down to Wands, new beginnings, end of cycles, Capricorn. We are in a 10 vibrational year. Capricorn, major changes coming for you, Capricorn. Whatever toxic that's been sticking to you, Capricorn, like a barnacle, I see that ending. Some things, Capricorn, have reached the end of its lifeline for you, Capricorn. And not because you did not try, Capricorn. Not because you did not care. Not because you did not invest. But now, Capricorn, there's only so much more you can continue to give and invest in, Capricorn. I see major changes coming for you. Major changes because, Capricorn, something that you have been involved in has been far too unhealthy for you. And Capricorn, our life is not meant to be spent that way. It's not meant, Capricorn, to be validating who we are, and not meant, Capricorn, to display those almost defenses, Capricorn. This energy, this is like you having to constantly defend yourself, explain yourself, and show just how much you have been committed, always committed in your own way, in your best way. In Capricorn, significant changes are coming for you because you don't need to explain yourself, Capricorn, to anyone. Your actions speak for itself, Capricorn. And ultimately, Capricorn, you invested enough. Something to anticipate for you, Capricorn, a big change. This energy, Capricorn, you very easily, it could be referring to, well, it's a big shift. Could be family in this energy, Capricorn. Could also be the environment that you've been in. You know, a major geographical shift. Something, Capricorn, is now ultimately hazard and toxic. And too toxic, Capricorn, for what you have to give, what you have already given. Anyway, Capricorn, I see healthiness and a removal from the toxicity coming for you, something to anticipate. Capricorn, in this energy, something's going to open itself up for you. Rather quickly, I do think, too, in this energy, Capricorn, because there's nothing left for you where you are. And now there's just swift changes, Capricorn, to the new. And I don't even see you looking back in this energy. Something to anticipate for Capricorn. Capricorn, the signs I did see. Well, we have Pisces, Cancer, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. We have tens and we have ones, Capricorn, which may be significant. We have definitely ending of cycles, Capricorn, and I see definitely ending those cycles where you are validating yourself and you have been investing, Capricorn, in something, Capricorn, that was never going to change, how they perceived you and how they treat you. Anyway, it's over. Let's go on to the next earth sign. That would be Virgo. Virgo, we have little kitty cat here with little toe beans. I'm all giddy because I have like little toe beans by me. So Virgo, what is something to anticipate for the Virgo collective? Oh, we have this back. Okay, Virgo, have some more space. And it's all nice and warm too, Virgo. Anyway, Virgo, something to anticipate for you. I have Magician and I have the Chariot. Directed energy here, Virgo. Going forward, Virgo, something's opening up for you, Virgo. Something that you've been thinking about, Virgo. A decision's been made. It's game time, Virgo. Green light's going to be there. I also see investment. Could be just time. Definitely energy. Could be also some money following in that, Virgo. That's an idea that's been floating around in your head, in someone's head for a while in this energy, Virgo. A daring move, Virgo, that someone wasn't yet quite committed to taking a risk for, taking a jump for, but now they are, Virgo. Maybe it took them it did take them a little bit of time. Maybe it took them a couple of weeks, Virgo, in this energy to do. Maybe it took a couple of months. Energies coming up here, Virgo. I have Gemini. I have all the air signs. I have Gemini. I have Libra. I have Aquarius. Perhaps I have some Aries and perhaps I have some Cancer. But Magician is our main energy here, Virgo. I have movement coming your way, Virgo. A decision's been made, that's been thought about. Now, Virgo, action, game plan, time to push forward what one can to making something happen. Virgo, I have a Page of Cups, an invitation, a decision. King of Cups. Lots of cups. Okay, so Virgo, something to anticipate. Well, for one person, Virgo, the decision is clear. Virgo, someone, do I say they were on the fence? They may have not been so much in the fence, but thinking, Virgo, is it worth it? For where I'm at right now and what I want to have done, is it worth it? Well, Virgo, now they realize, thank you for the like, it is worth it. It took a little bit of time to come to that conclusion, though, Virgo. Strong Cancerian energy coming up here, Virgo. Also, too, I have some Leo. Well, perhaps I have some Pisces, some Gemini. I have somebody, Virgo, who's been wanting to make sure that the actions that they're about to make, Virgo, was inspired because it was a good decision and not something they felt like. Apparently, this person is afraid of their feelings overriding logic, right? It has to make sense, not because they feel a certain way. Funny, though, because this is this Virgo is what they intended to do all along. Still not quite sure, Virgo, if it's the best reaction. We do have strong Gemini. 8 of Swords is Gemini energy. I do read my magicians personally as Gemini. Some people say, oh, it's all signs. To me, magician feels very, 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 very strongly. It just shines with a Gemini color. So for me, magicians are Gemini. But yeah, so Gemini could be relevant here. We're talking about Gemini season. I think we're talking about something much sooner here. This is something that someone had been conflicted between intelligence and emotionality in making a decision, in investing something, in making an offer. And Gemini and Virgo, that offer is going to be made. Perhaps it's going to be made to Virgo, unknown to either the person that it's being extended to. I still say that they have a little bit of hesitancy about wanting to make sure it's a logical decision. Ultimately, this person's still going on their gut and is choosing something that will make them happy. So that's something to anticipate for you, Virgo. An offer is going to be made. And this person took time in extending it because of what I just described. And ultimately, although they think that it's not the case and they, rationalized it to some extent, they're still doing it because it's what makes them happy. Okay. So let's go on to, I think I did all the earth signs. I did Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. Now we're on fire. I feel like doing Leo first. We'll do Leo, we'll do Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. Go that way. That's what my cat says. if you can hear that. Oh, we're doing a Leo reading, which means that my cat could go meow meow the whole time. We'll see. So, Leo, something to anticipate for Leo. Is this vindication? Is this justice? Is this appropriate karma? Something like that, Leo. Something to anticipate what you are wishing for is going to happen. What you are wishing for matters out of your control, very much out of your control, out of your hands. Also, too, with the eights here, the Eight of Cups, we're talking about some destiny energy. When I say the eights as well, the star is a 17. Take that down, it becomes a 1 and a 7. That becomes an 8 too. We're talking about the ingredients for destiny, fate, hope. As I said, things that are larger than us, things that we can't necessarily, we can influence, but we can't control. Give it a little bit of time. First of all, in this energy, Leo, but what you want to have happen will happen. It's already been set in motion. Something that you've been waiting for, a larger entity than yourself, Leo, that is going to happen for you. A wish, do I say a wish? Well, in this energy, Leo, a wish is going to be granted. Acknowledgement is going to be granted. Safe haven is going to be granted. A respite is going to be granted. Something in that energy, a place is going to be granted. Could definitely be, well, some sort of place. And a place of emotional security, physical security. A place to feel protected, sheltered, supported. Anyway, all those sorts of energies are here, Leo, under the star. Energies coming up here, well, we do have some Aquarius, Taurus, Pisces, Scorpio, Leo. We have some Aquarius. So I have Aquarius. I have star. Leo, I have 7 of Cups. It's actually 7 of Cups to me. It's a couple energies that mirror to me aspects of the star. 7 of Cups is definitely one of them. I have Queen of Cups. And I have 7. Okay. 7. 7s may be relevant to you, Leo. A bit of pause, Leo. But ultimately, you're going to find, Leo, that you're going to be seeing things that you have gained, seeing things that are going to come up for you in the future with a renewed sense of appreciation, Leo. As I said before, the star is a vibration of 17. And then we also have here, which goes down to 8. But then we also have here with a 2, 7, 7 of Cups and a 7 of Swords. We have self-growth, introspection here, Leo, a chance to go and really see what's important, Leo. Also, too, Leo, that which you have gained yourself, you're going to be seeing, finding new appreciation for everything that's been around you, Leo, everything that you've been able to go and build. Why is that? I'm not quite sure, but there definitely is going to be an acknowledgement, a clarity, even more so, Leo, of all the benefits that you yourself have gained, built, and can enjoy. This is like second awakening type of energy. Also in this energy, Leo, something to anticipate. In addition to, I feel like something's going to inspire you to take stock of what you've gained so far. There's more to be gained as well in the future, Leo. This is like definitely a spiritual awakening coming up here. And with that, it's also too like the next goals and initiatives that are awaiting you, Leo, aren't necessarily that of a monetary kind, but more like you going after things and building things that build up your spirituality, your heart, grow your intellect. I see you putting time, getting opportunities to make connections and build and grow in your heart, in your intellect, and in your spirit. I'm not saying that they won't have a monetary value as well, but I feel like here, Leo, we're talking about the richness of life. And that's what I see you building. That's something to anticipate for you. The true beauty of life is coming your way. You're getting the full 360, and this time it's going to be your heart, your soul, and your mind. Should I have said signs? Well, we had Scorpio, we had Leo, we had Aquarius, we had Cancer. We had strong, do we have, yeah, we had 7 of Swords, right, with the star. So that was significant Aquarian energy. Very strong Aquarian energy, followed by Leo, Cancer, and Scorpio. But ultimately, I see your life shimmering in other facets that haven't shimmered yet, or haven't shimmered as vibrantly as they're about to yet. So Aries. Maybe a bit loud. Let that sound out for a moment, Aries. So Aries, something to anticipate. For Aries, of course, Ace of Wands, by the way, is Aries energy, the major in the minor arcana. These are not Aries energies. Oh, but look at them. Anticipation, restlessness. Did I say impatientness? Being impatient, restlessness, also to a little bit of resentment. Strong, some Piscean energy coming up here, some Gemini, Capricorn, Sagittarius energy. What we're talking about here is restraint from what you want. At its highest level, or restraint from what someone wants, Aries. That could also be, so what someone wants is definitely, patience has been more than exhausted. And someone's waiting, not quite patiently, but has no choice to wait, no choice to wait until, something can begin, something that's necessary to begin. Perhaps in this energy too, Aries, something that's overdue. One could say in this energy, in your energy, definitely overdue. Could just be the general consensus of time too, outside of one person's perception. Something overdue, something that should have happened, hasn't yet. Anyway, this is a little bit of frustration. Oh, Aries. Someone is frustrated. Someone has been forced to wait and be patient when essentially there is no need to be. Ace of Wands, Aries. A Queen of Wands slid out. I do read my queens as cardinals. Means we have two Aries energies. I'm actually not quite a fan when I do readings with signs and then the same signs come up, because I already know that I'm talking about that collective, and that each collective has obviously the traits in the readings to begin with. So it's almost like a redundant message. I prefer different energies coming up, but I get a lot of similar energies when I do signs. Of course, Two of Wands is also Aries energy. It's a very strong Aries energy coming up here, but we already know it's an Aries reading. Twos may be relevant here. Plans, partnerships, adequate starts, chances to go and initiate new starts, chances to go and shine and release one's unique color, unique abilities, Aries. Capricorn energy may be relevant as well here, as well as a whole lot of Aries energy. Aries, where do you have Aries? Do you have Aries sun? Do you have Aries moon? Do you have a bunch of Aries? Aries, that's where things are supercharged for you. Also, too, in the planetary alignments, I think we're in Saturn, Aries, and Aries is touching a whole bunch of other points. Anyway, Aries, this is like your a supercharged time for you. Wherever you have Aries, that's essentially where you are going to be very visible. And I would say in this energy too, I would check out the Vedic charts as well. Does it really matter if you're looking at a Western a zodiac or the Vedic astrology? I feel like they both apply. We also too, with this year of the horse, it goes down to a fire horse, and horses naturally have fire energy. So it's like a double fire year this year. And I guess the reason why I'm saying that is because, number one, what I see for you, Aries, something to anticipate. I see movement for you in a way that you haven't been noticed before. Not necessarily that you haven't moved before, but the way you have not been noticed before. I see investment coming to you, Aries. I see people investing in you. Precisely because the visibility of what you do, how you move, how you present yourself is going to, wow a lot of people, commit a lot of people to you. You know, how you want to move, your vision, what you want to initiate. Other people are going to be receptive to that, even those that necessarily wouldn't be that inclined to. And I think too, Aries, the reason why they're going to do that, there's a bit of possessive energy in here. It's like they're going to do what's necessary, Aries, to, keep on having access to the vibrant energy you provide, or the vibrant leadership you provide, the vibrant skills you contribute. Anyway, Aries, you're an asset, going to be seen as an asset, going to be treated as an asset, and you should be invested in accordingly at its highest level. If I was going to say other things in here, of course, I could say other things, right? A King of Pentacles is king of commitment, a king of investment. I could be saying Aries if we were talking about Aries singles, something to anticipate, a connection, a romantic connection that you didn't anticipate before, but this is not necessarily something that is, how to say, fly by night. This is not something that is temporary. Instead, I see someone here who wants to partner with you, Aries, on the long term, for the long term. Right? There are a whole bunch of messages that could be pulled, could be inferred here. Definitely, I do see some romance and family and whatnot in there. But I try and keep it at its highest level, as this is not precisely a reading I'm doing about love or a reading I'm doing for singles, couples, work, spirituality. This is a spiritual growth period for you overall, though. So think about where your life is right now, Aries, and your Aries placements, because that's definitely where you're going to be shining and invigorating people, and also moving in a more powerful way than you have before. Very interesting energy for you, Aries. You have blessings. Blessings, Aries, that with that initial energy that we had, you have not gotten acknowledgement and appreciation and investment like this before. So you have a big blessing coming your way. As I said, people should look at their Vedic charts and the Western charts and see where Aries pops up. That's a blessing. A little possessive of a blessing, but a blessing. Let's go on to our final sign. That would be Sagittarius. And thank you for the hearts. Let's see, Sagittarius. Oh, and thank you for the likes. Sagittarius. Something to anticipate for the Sagittarius collective. That wanted to come out, Sagittarius. 10 of Wands is Sagittarius energy. Yeah, that just came out too. Responsibilities, Sagittarius. Expectations people have of you, Sagittarius. Do you fulfill those expectations any more than you have, Sagittarius? It's not necessarily something you're not capable of doing. But is it worth your time, Sagittarius, any more than it already has been, Sagittarius? Is it going to change things in the direction that you want as significantly as what you want, Sagittarius, as opposed to if you focused on something else? Some messages coming through there, Sagittarius. I'm not going to focus on it that strongly. Sagittarius, I will keep these two, Sagittarius. They popped out, why not? You recollect what I said just a moment ago about Aries and having all this energy in your collective. 10 of Wands is Sagittarius energy. So is Temperance. Well, we already know we're talking about Sagittarius. Cards are there saying we're talking about Sagittarius. Well, thank you. Indeed, we are Sagittarius. Well, first of all, Sagittarius, know that the connections that are being made, I guess my cat had something also too to say about that cat too. Well, Sagittarius, the last reading I did for you, you could check that out. I did it for you a little while ago, a day or two ago. I had cat meows galore, Sagittarius. My cats have a lot they want to say to you. Like a lot. Still, hear them again. Meow, meow. You are inspiring my cats right now, Sagittarius. Okay, so anyway, 9 of Wands, whatever that is, Hierophant, and Justice. Sagittarius, People put responsibilities and expectations on you, Sagittarius, because they feel like you can handle it. I see a lot of weight being placed upon you, a lot of expectations, almost in this energy, Sagittarius, like they expect you to fulfill their dreams or the dreams that they have, Sagittarius. Not really so much what you want or what you're capable of or what you're interested in, but Sagittarius, it's like a whole bunch of projection here. They see your strength, they see where you can go, Sagittarius, they see what you can do, and then they start mapping out, well, Sagittarius can do this, can be that. They're defining you. And it's not necessarily too in this energy, Sagittarius, something that you are not capable of doing. But then again, as I said, just because you can fulfill those roles and expectations, is it something necessarily that you should? Anyway, people have expectations of you. They try and make you do that. They think they're doing that for your benefit. They think, Sagittarius, that's where you shine. They are doing it for your best benefit. So they believe, so they think. They're like, if I was like this with Sagittarius, or Sagittarius benefits, Sagittarius this, Sagittarius that, that's what I would do. But, Sagittarius are not you. I know Hangman wanted to pop out. We have enough cards that popped out, Sagittarius. So, Sagittarius, setting expectations. Just because you can do a lot, Sagittarius, doesn't mean you should do a lot, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you've already pushed out a whole lot already. Now's the time, Sagittarius, to pull back. Sagittarius, make sure you're not moving towards other people's expectations, other people's molds, other people's paths, or even, Sagittarius, those who love you, because I'm not getting necessarily like malicious or exploitive energy here, but definitely, Sagittarius, there are people who want to influence where you go and how. And Sagittarius, I feel like in this energy, it's time for that to stop. Sagittarius, time to be your own person. And Sagittarius, just because you have the strength to do a lot doesn't necessarily mean that you have to exercise it all the time. And in this energy, Sagittarius, what I have here, it's time for you to go and pivot and change where your strength has been, where your direction has been going. Take stock of it, Sagittarius. Make sure, Sagittarius, you are moving in accordance with your own dream, Sagittarius, and even if it takes a different type of timeline, Sagittarius, to achieve that, in other words, something won't happen, or something for you, Sagittarius, that's meaningful would happen in 6 years as opposed to 6 weeks. Sagittarius, if that's the case, Sagittarius, where you want to go, then it's worth it. Go the path you want to go, Sagittarius. Pay attention to your own timeline, Sagittarius. Don't allow yourself to be an engine for the direction that other people want to go. It's definitely in this energy, Sagittarius, you can be like what do they call those things? Like a barge. You could be like a tanker, Sagittarius, and you can not only pull just one person, Sagittarius, in the direction that they want to go in, but Sagittarius, you can pull a community. You have that kind of strength, but you'd be pulling them, Sagittarius, like a tool towards it, what they want to do and how they want to do it. Make sure, Sagittarius, you don't allow yourself to be used like a tool, like a pencil, like a mouse. You have your own vision, Sagittarius. You were given the strength and the abilities, Sagittarius, the fortitude and the stamina, Sagittarius, precisely to go on your own path, Sagittarius. Make sure, Sagittarius, you're walking it. Sign, Sagittarius, I have, outside of a lot of Sagittarius, I have some Aquarius, I have some Aries, Scorpio, Virgo. And I have very strong Sagittarius. Very strong Sagittarius you are. Well, those are my messages for everyone. Do give me a thumbs up if you appreciate my time and energy. Also, if anyone is interested in helping support the channel, do consider becoming a member. I will be offering a members live in which I'll pull something for you guys. There will also be astrological notes that will be released on a regular basis for you. Be sure to let me know your sun sign so I know. And also, too, if anyone would like to send a little tip, a little love my way, tokens of appreciation are appreciated either by YouTube or Cash App. If you feel called to, you can check out the other messages on the channel. And I do think I'm going to get something to drink, some tea. Until next time, everybody. Bye-bye.